Just in, some new announcements we've been waiting for, and I can't even believe they're going to be doing this. I have all the details and everything you need to know right here in this video. Let's get right into it. Alright, so first off, I want to start out by talking about some of these headlines that just hit the wire, answering some of the questions we've been wondering as recently as that last video I just published a few hours ago. So, let's jump right into it and talk about what was just released. Alright, so first off, remember in that last video a couple hours ago, I talked about how the administration is calling on Congress to pass another COVID relief bill. Well, we just got some updates on it, so let me tell you what they're currently saying. They're now saying that the next COVID relief bill is likely going to be combined with another Ukraine relief bill in the Senate. So this is something that they typically do when bills are working their way through the House and the Senate. There's a lot of times that they combine these different bills into one big old package, and then they push it through all at the same time. So apparently this is a more efficient way to get things done, or it is just one of these ways that they can kind of combine a bunch of things into one package, maybe conceal a few things within them, and then they get it through the legislative process. So that is what they're talking about right now in regards to the next COVID relief bill. I'm going to be honest with you though, I did not see a dollar amount. Originally it was $22.5 billion, then it went down to $10 billion, but as of recently I did not see on this latest report a dollar amount as far as what it will actually be. So that should be released here relatively soon, I would anticipate anyway. And of course, I can always keep you posted in a separate video as I do get more information on that. But they are currently working on another COVID relief bill in conjunction with another Ukraine relief bill at the same time. And the report said they're likely going to combine these into one package when it gets into the Senate. So again, as I do get more details, of course, I will keep you posted. Now, I do have more updates for you in this video, but really quickly before we get into those, if you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video. There's a lot going on right now. I am very much dedicated to you and this community as I'm doing research literally all day, every single day. I'm breaking all that information down into these short videos and delivering them to you a few times each and every day so that you can stay updated with everything going on as this information is being released. So again, thanks so much for joining me. I truly do appreciate it. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. And let's get right into the other updates here. All right, so next, apparently Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin had a meeting. Yeah, right. I said that correctly. They had a meeting. So, what did they say? All right, so let's break this down here and talk about what they actually said in their meeting. Now, if you're not familiar with who these two guys are, by the way, Chuck Schumer is the leader of the Senate on the Democratic side, and Joe Manchin is the guy who's kind of on the fence. Technically, he is a Democrat, but again, he's kind of on the fence when it comes to a lot of these decisions. He does side with Republicans quite a bit with a lot of different issues. So again, he's kind of on the fence when it comes to like the political standpoint, but again, he does identify as a Democrat. So the simple fact of the matter is Chuck Schumer is far, far left. Meanwhile, Joe Manchin is pretty much kind of like right in the middle, right? So the simple fact that these guys have met and they've had a little meeting here is kind of a big deal. So anyway, let's quickly talk about what they discussed here. So first off, they're considering another reconciliation bill. Yeah, you're hearing that correctly as well. A reconciliation bill is actually one of these bills that they only need 50 votes in the Senate plus the tie-breaking vote from the vice president, which, by the way, that is exactly what the last stimulus package was. That was the $1.9 trillion package that contained the the $1,400 stimulus checks a year ago. So that's the kind of point behind this, is a reconciliation bill. These are the bills that they can get through Congress relatively quickly, with just a simple vote in the Senate, just a simple majority, just 50 votes. That's all they need to get this thing through. So, we've been waiting, wondering, are they going to do another reconciliation bill? Well, pretty much they are going to be, because if they lose any seats in the Senate or they potentially lose power in the House of Representatives, you know, they may actually be game over with the reconciliation bill. So, yeah, absolutely, they're going to do another reconciliation bill before the midterm elections. But anyway, just want to let you know what they're actually talking about. So they're talking about actually reducing the deficit, as in, you know, all the debt that this country has, over $30 trillion in debt. So one thing they want to do is raise taxes, and of course, they want to pay down some of this debt that is outstanding in this country. So anyway, what they're considering doing is raising the corporate tax rate up to 25%, and they're considering raising the capital gains rate up to 28%. And again, this would be a reconciliation bill, and they are currently working on this, and they're talking about it anyway, I should say. But at the same time, Joe Manchin is also having discussions with Republicans and discussing another bill over there as well. So he's having a few different discussions here, and we'll have to see what transpires here relatively quickly. All right, now let's talk about what the Biden administration is discussing. Now, this is actually pretty big news because this is actually going to impact about 43 million or so people, give or take a million or two people. Generally, 40 plus million people this is going to impact in a really, really big way, and realistically, a pretty positive way as well. Here's what it comes down to. The Biden administration has announced they are examining and looking into any and all means and methods that they can reduce and completely wipe out all student loan debt, either all or the vast majority of all student loan debt. Now, here's the thing. As of right now, there's about $1.6 trillion in federal student loans that are outstanding, again, impacting about 43 million people out there right now. I know that some of you in this community have federal student loan debts, because the reason I know that is because I've seen it down in the comments section. So I know that this would impact some of you right here in this community, and this would be a pretty big deal for a lot of people. So here's what they're doing. They're examining any and all means and methods in which they can cancel federal student loan debt, either all of it or the vast majority of it. Again, $1.6 trillion, practically the same amount as what that last stimulus package was. Now again, it's $300 billion short, but when we're talking $1.5 trillion, really, what's $300 billion when it comes to $1.5 trillion? You know what I mean? It's a very, very small percentage. My point is, it's a lot of money, right? Anyway, they're looking at wiping this whole thing out. Now, here's the thing. They said that they're going to have a decision sometime before August. Well, realistically, August is not that far away, right? Now, here's the thing, one more point that I want to point out here. Obviously, one more point that I want to point out. Yeah, right. But anyway, as of right now, the federal student loan debt repayments do not restart as of right now until September 1st. But they've also already indicated that they will likely be pushed out once again if they don't figure out this cancellation before then. So, as of right now, it looks like a couple good things here. If you are a federal student loan borrower, if you're in that situation, number one, worst case scenario, they're probably going to push it out beyond September 1st. Once again, they've already indicated that. And number two, they're looking at any methods possible where they can completely cancel all federal student loan debt. Now, why wouldn't they cancel all of it? They said most or all. Most, I'm not really sure why they wouldn't do all of it. If they leave, a couple $100 billion remaining, I'm not really sure. I didn't see any specific reason for why they wouldn't be able to do all of it. But again, that's just what they said. Not really sure the reason why they wouldn't do all of it, but they want to do all of it or the vast majority. So again, that'd be pretty exciting for a lot of people out there. However, at the same time, I do know that this is kind of a controversial topic. So I'd be very curious to hear from you. What do you think about this whole federal student loan cancellation? If you're somebody who doesn't have federal student loans, what do you feel about this? And again, I'm not taking sides with this. I know this is a very controversial topic. I don't take sides in my videos. I simply report the news as I find it. But I'd be very curious to read through the comment section and see what you have to say about all of this, especially for those of you who do not have federal student loan debt. I'm curious, do you feel like, you've been a little bit betrayed? Do you feel like they should give you something too? If they wipe out $40,000 of debt from one person, do you feel like they should cut you a check for 40 grand too? I don't know. I'm just making this up. I mean, honestly, I'm just kind of making up some examples here because I'm not really sure. But I'm guessing there's, some different opinions on this, and I'd be very curious to hear what you have to say about it. Anyway, if you're comfortable doing so, I'd love to read your comments down below. Otherwise, if not, that's totally fine too. Everybody's entitled to say something if you'd like. If not, I totally respect that as well. Does not matter. I'm just curious to hear some opinions if you're interested in sharing, because I do know, I've read in the comments previously, it's kind of a hot button issue, right? Yeah, but anyway. I just like to report the news, let you know what's going on, especially that highly focused information right here on the channel that I do know will impact and will actually pertain to a lot of you right here in the community. So again, thanks so much for joining me. If you haven't done so yet, please make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video. I'm back for you every single day as I'm doing all this research, boiling it down into these short videos and delivering them a few times every day so that you can stay tuned with everything going on during this very busy time. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, share the video, and go back and check out any of the other 2,400 videos right here on the channel, especially those ones from earlier today. Some pretty good stuff out there coming up as of recently. So enjoy. I'll catch you again later.